remarked one of the town councillors, who desired to gain a reputation for having artistic taste.
Only with cuts. She added in fear that people view her as impractical. Why can't you be the happy prince?
Asked a sensible mother of her little child, who was crying for the moon.
Irrational, irrational, petty, or significant, fleeting or consequential, the happy prince never dreams of crying for anything. Muttered the suffering woman as she gazed at the wonderful statue.
Just like an angel, said the charity children, as they came out of the cathedral in their bright scarlet clothes and clean white in the forest.
How do you know? You've never seen an angel before. Why give such an affirmation? Yeah, in our dreams.
Said the charity children, and the mathematical master frowned, and he looked very austere, for he did not approve of children.
One night, there flew over the city a little swallow. Her friends had gone away to Egypt 6 weeks before, but she had stayed behind. She was in love with the most handsome prince.
She had met him early in the spring, as she was flying down the river after a big yellow moth, and had been so attracted by his slender waist that she had stopped to talk to him.
She flew round and round once, touching the water with her wings, making silver ripples. This was her courtship, and it lasted all through the summer. But after her friends had gone away when winter came, she felt lonely and began to tire of undisciplined love.
So she flew away. She flew all day and arrived at the center of a night with it.
I'll spread my wings and I'll learn how to fly. I'll do what it takes till I touch the sky. Take a chance, take a wish, and break away. I hope the town prepared for my visit. Then she saw the statue on the column. I will put up there. It is a fine position for fresh air.
So she alighted just between the feet of the happy prince.
I have a golden victory. She softly spoke to herself as she placed her head under her wings. But a large drop of water fell on her. What a curious thing! There is not a cloud in sight. The stars are quite clear and bright, and then it is raining. Then another drop fell. What's the use of a statue if we not keep the rain off? Then she determined to fly away in search of better shelter. But just as she had opened her wings, a third drop fell. She looked up and saw, ah! What did she see?
The prince's eyes were full of tears, and tears ran down his golden cheeks. His face looked so beautiful in the moonlight. The little swallow was filled with pity.
Who are you?
I am the happy prince.
He is the happy prince. Why are you weeping then? You saw just like the tears of
When I was alive and had a human heart, I did not know what tears were, for I lived in a palace where sorrow was not allowed to enter. In the daytime, I played with my companions in the garden, and in the night, I led the dance in the great hall. Round the garden ran a very lofty wall that confined me, and led me to believe that happiness was all that existed. My courtiers called me the happy prince, and happy indeed I was, if pleasure be happiness. So I lived, and so I died. And now that I am dead, you have set me up here so high, that I can see all the ugliness and all the misery of my city. And though my heart is made of lead, yet I cannot choose but weep.
What? Is he not made of solid gold?
Far away across the city, I see a little house. One of the windows is open, and through it, I can see a woman seated at a table. Her face is thin and worn, and she has coarse red hands, all pricked by the needle. Oh, she is a seamstress. In her bed, her little boy is lying ill. He has a fever, and his mother has nothing to give him but river water. So he is crying. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, will you not bring her the ruby out of my sword hilt? My feet are fastened to this pedestal, so I cannot move.
I have waited for her in Egypt. My friends are flying up and down the Nile, talking to the large lotus flowers. Soon they will notice me because I see the great king. The king is there himself in his good temple.
Swallow, swallow, little swallow, will you not stay here for one night and be my messenger? The boy is so thirsty. The mother is in melancholy.
I don't think I like boys. But the happy prince was so sad that he told the swallow to feel sorry for him.
So the little swallow picked out the great ruby from the princess'
out on the balcony with her closest friend. How wonderful the stars are, and how wonderful the mountain view. I have made dresses for her in time at the state ball. I have ordered passion flowers to bring water with her. The scenes are so bleak.
She passed over the river and saw the lanterns hanging to the masts of the ships. She passed over the hill and saw the old Jews hanging, bargaining with each other, bringing out money in copper seals.
At last, she came to the courthouse and looked in. The boy was tossing feverishly in his bed, and the mother had fallen asleep. In she hopped and laid the great ruby on the table, beside the woman's pillow.
Then she flew gently round the table, fanning the boy's forehead with the rings.
Then, she flew back to the happy prince and told him what she had done. I feel quite warm now, although it is cold.
That's because you, little swallow, have done a good deed.
Said the happy prince. And the little swallow began to think. And then she fell asleep, because thinking always made her feel sleepy.
When day broke, she flew down to the river and had a bath.
What a remarkable phenomenon, said the professor of mythology. As she was passing over the river. A swallow in winter.
And she wrote a long letter to the local newspaper. Tonight, I go to Egypt.
The swallow said, and she was in high spirits at the prospect. Wherever she went, the sparrows chirruped and said to each other, "Chirp, chirp, chirp. What a distinguished stranger!"
When the moon took its place in the sky, the swallow flew back to the happy prince. Tonight, I go to Egypt.
Swallow, swallow, little swallow. Do not stay with me here for one night longer.
I am waited for in Egypt. My friends are going to the second cataract. I cannot stay here.
Far away, across the city, I see a young man in a garret. He's leaning over a desk of papers, and he is trying to finish a play for the director of the theater. But he's too cold to write any more. The hunger has made him faint, and there is no more fire in the grate. Alas, I have no ruby now. My eyes are all that I have left. They are made of rare sapphires. Pluck out one of them and give it to him. He will sell it to the jeweler, where he will buy food and firewood and finish his play.
Yes, I cannot. And they began to weep.
Swallow, swallow, little swallow, do as I command you.
So she plucked out the princess of her eye and flew away to the student's garret. It was easy enough to get in, as there was a hole in the roof. Through this, she darted and came into the room. The young man had his head buried in his hands, so he did not hear the flutter of the bird's wings. When he looked up, he saw the beautiful sapphire lying on the withered violets.
I'm beginning to be appreciated. This must be from some great admirer. I can finally finish my play.
And he looked quite happy. The swallow flew back to the happy prince and told him what she had done. I came to bid you goodbye.
Swallow, swallow, little swallow, will you not stay with me here for one night longer?
I have waited for in Egypt, and it is almost winter. The chills will soon be here. Dear prince, I must leave you, but I will never forget you. The next spring, I shall bring you back two beautiful jewels in place of those that you have given away.
But in the square below, there stands a little match girl. She has let her matches fall into the gutter, and she has let them be spoiled. Her father will beat her. She does not bring home some money. She has no shoes or stockings, and her little head is bare. Swallow, will you not pluck out my other eye and give it to her? And her father will not beat her anymore.
I will stay with you one night longer, but I will not look out your eye. You will be quite blind then.
Swallow, swallow, little swallow, do as I command you.
So the little swallow plucked out the princess of her eye and darted down with it. She soon passed the match girl and slipped the jewel into the palm of her hand.
No, nothing but a glass, cried the little girl, and she ran home, laughing.
The next day, the swallow flew down to the harbor. She watched the sailors hauling large chests out of the hold with ropes. When the moon rose, she flew back to the happy place.
Goodbye, dear prince. Will you let me hold your hand?
Goodbye, dear swallow. I'm glad that you are going to Egypt at last. But you must kiss me on the lips, for I love you.
All the day, the next day, the swallow sat on Prince's shoulder and told him stories of what she had seen in strange lands. I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, no when did you last let your heart descend? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride, a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view, and no one really appear. It's crystal clear. Now I'm in a whole new world with you.
Dear little swallow, you tell me of marvelous things, but more marvelous than anything is the suffering of men and of women. There's not mystery so great as misery. Fly over my city, little swallow, and tell me what you see there.
So she flew over the great city and saw the rich making merry in their beautiful houses, while the beggars stayed by the gates. She flew into dark lanes and saw the faces of starving children looking out listlessly at the back streets.
Under the archway of the bridge, two little children were lying in one another's arms to try and keep themselves warm.
How hungry I am,
You must not lie.
shouted the watchman, and she wandered out into the rain.
So she flew back and told the happy prince what she had seen.
I am covered with fine gold. You must take it off, leaf by leaf, and give it to my poor. The living always think that gold can make them happy.
Leaf after leaf, the fine gold swallowed the tongue, till the happy prince looked quite dull and grey. Leaf after leaf she brought to the poor, and the children's faces grew rosier, and they laughed and played games in the streets. We have bread now!
Then the snow came, and after the snow came the frost. The streets looked like they were made of silver. They were so bright and glistening. Long icicles hung down like crystal daggers from the eaves of the houses.
Goodbye, dear prince.
Goodbye, little swallow. I'm glad that you are going to Egypt at last, but you must kiss me on the lips, for I love you.
Right on the mountain high, not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like this swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I tried. Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. For now they know. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away and slam the door. Ignorance died in the light of day. Let the storm rage on. And she kissed the happy prince on the lips. The cold never bothered me anyway, and fell down dead at his feet.
At that moment, a fierce crack sounded inside the statue, as if something inside had broken. It happened that the leaden heart had snapped right into him. It certainly was a dreadfully hard frost.
Early the next morning, the mayor was walking down the square below with the company of the town councilors.
Tell me how shabby that prince looks.
How shabby indeed!
The room has fallen out of his sword, his eyes are blood, and he is golden no longer. In fact, he's a little better than a beggar.
Little better than a beggar!
He must really issue a proclamation that birds are not allowed to die here.
And the town clerk made note of the suggestion.
So they pulled down the statue of the happy prince. For golden winter air and mountain green come by, longer useful.
Said the art professor at the university.
They melted the statue in the furnace, and the mayor held a meeting of the corporation to decide what was to be done with the metal.
We must have another statue. Of course, it should be a statue of myself.
Oh, myself!
Said each of the town councilors, and they quarreled. And when last I heard of them, they were quarreling still.
What a strange thing! Said the overseer at the time. This broken lead work won't melt in the furnace. We must throw it away!
So they threw it away in the dust heap, where the dead swallow was also lying. Bring me the two most precious gifts in the city.
Said God to one of his angels. The angel brought him the bleeding heart and the dead bird.
You have chosen rightly so, for in my garden of paradise, this bird shall sing forevermore. And in my city of gold, the happy prince shall praise me.
It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. The Happy Prince. The bird is Okay, round of applause.
Hey, Prince, can we?
Dami style game eh.
Are you ready?
Ready as in ever.
Nothing. Lights, camera.
Action!
In the center of the village stood the statue of the Happy Prince. He was gilded all over with fine gold, and for eyes, and on his sword, he had beautiful gems. He was very much admired indeed.
He's as beautiful as a weathercock, only not quite so useful.
Mama, when is the moon coming back?
Oh, do shut up! Why don't you be like the Happy Prince? He never cries for anything.
I'm glad to see someone smiling in such a beautiful world.
Happy Prince!
How do you know? You have never seen one.
Oh, but I have.
Oh, really?
Yes, my theme.
One night, there flew over the city a little swallow. His friends had gone 6 days before to Egypt, but he decided to left because he fell in love with the little goose.
Now going.
Where am I going? I'm going to Egypt.
All day long he flew, and at night he finally arrived in the center of the city.
Where shall I put up? Haven't found as many preparations for me.
He went to the center, and at last he saw the tall column and the station lies at the top.
Aha! Perfect place. There's plenty of fresh air in this place. What a curious thing! There's not a single cloud in the sky. The stars are bright and shining, and yet it's raining. The climate in the north of Europe is certainly dreadful.
He looked down to the sky, and there he saw tears of happiness flowing down his golden cheeks.
Who are you?
I am the Happy Prince.
Really? Really? So why are you leaving? You're quite drenched me.
I live in the palace of Sansuchi, where sorrow is a not allowed land. As a child, I used to play in the garden with my companions, and in the evening I would lead the dance in the great hall. When I died, they put me up in this pedestal so high that I could see all the sorrow and misery of my city. In a little house in the corner of the city, there's a seamstress. Her hands are red and all pricked by the needle. In a corner of the room, her son is lying ill. He is asking for oranges, but his mother has nothing to give him but river water. Can you give him the ruby from my sword hilt? And he will give it to the children.
I'm sorry, but I cannot. My friends are waiting for me in Egypt. They're flying up and down from the river, and they're talking to the huge lotus flowers. They're gonna sneak in the temple of the king, and the king is there himself in his fated coffin, so.
Swallow, swallow, little swallow. Will you not stay with me for one night and be my messenger?
It's very cold here, but I shall stay with you and become your messenger.
So the little swallow picks out the great root in the wind's sword and flew away with it in his beak all over the town. He passed by many places and saw different scenes.
How cool it is! I must be getting better.
The swallow took back to the inhabitants and told them again.
It's quite cold. Although it's very cold, I do feel quite warm.
As you can see, I've done a good deed.
The little swallow started to think, then fell asleep. Thinking always made him sleepy. The next day, he was ecstatic.
Tonight, I am going to Egypt!
The whole day, he was asleep, and when the moon rose, he went back to the inhabitants with his advice.
I come to give you my advice.
In a little house in the corner of the city, I see a young man in a garret. There is no fire in the grate, and in a mug there are withered violets. Hunger has made him faint. Take out one of my eyes and give it to this young man. Then he can finish his play.
I'm sorry, I will stay with you for one night, but I cannot longer. I will be right behind.
Swallow, swallow, little swallow, do as I command you.
So, the swallow comes out the prince's eye and flew with prudence there. And there, a young man had his head buried in his hands, and so he did not hear the flutter of the bird's wings. But when he looked up, he saw a beautiful sapphire laying there within the withering violets.
I'm beginning to appreciate this. This was before a great admirer. Now, I can finally finish my play.
The next day, the swallow once more flew over the city, but when the moon rose, he flew back to the happy place.
Swallow, down there in the city, there's a young match girl. She has spoiled all her matches, and if she does not bring home some money, her father will beat her. Take out my other eye and give it to the girl. That way your father will not beat her.
I was thinking for one night, but I cannot follow the other eye. I'll be really blind.
Swallow, swallow, little swallow, do as I command you.
Matches! Matches! Everybody wants my matches? What a happy piece of wisdom! Look at this grand old outfit. Then the stars came down.
You are blind now. Thus,
Oh, you must go away to Egypt.
no, I will stay with you.
Swallow, swallow, little swallow. I want you to fly over the city one last time and tell me what you see.
This will be goodbye, dear prince. Kiss your hand.
No, you must kiss me on the lips forever.
It is not sweet and
shabby that prince looks.
How shabby!
Indeed.
Indeed.
The ruby has fallen out of his sword. His eyes are gone and his golden no longer. In fact, he's little better than a beggar.
It was better than a beggar.
And there's actually a dead bird at his feet. We should make a proclamation that dead birds are not allowed to die.
Birds are not allowed to die here.
And so, they pulled down the statue of the Happy Prince because they no longer found him beautiful and consequently no longer useful. And then, they melted the statue in a furnace. The mayor held a meeting of the corporation as to what was to be done with the melted metal.
We should have another statue, of course. And it shall be a statue of myself.
Of myself?
Of myself!
Of myself!
Of myself!
Of myself!
And they continued to quarrel, and the last I heard of them, they were quarreling still.
What a strange thing! This heart would melt in the furnace. You must throw it away.
So, they threw it on the dust heap for the dead soul would also die. Only the two most precious things that said God to the angels. The angel brought God in the heart of the dead soul. They were rightly chosen and said, For in my garden of paradise, the swallow will sing forevermore, in my city of gold, in my
Myself.
Yes, we know him! The is a prince, my dear, the happy prince. His father, the king, and he were known to be generous and kind, people who share their fortune to their people. They were loved and admired by the people. To show this, here's a statue honoring him.
But why is he called the happy prince, Daddy?
He never knew what sadness was, my dear. He was always smiling, and by that, he just looked like an angel. And what's more interesting is that the people loved him so much that the precious jewels given to them are actually the ones that you can see with your naked eyes. They collected all of them and used them in honor of his greatness.
It's fascinating that there were so many rooms that had so many nervous statues of so many. Now I can see why they built the statue of him. He's truly an inspiration to all of us. And I wish I could do that.
You can be if you want to. Shall we go on?
There's one little swallow over the sea.
Her parents had left her age 6 weeks before.
For she was in love with the most people. She had met him early in the spring, as she was flying down the river after a young one, and had been so attracted that she had stopped to look at her.
Every time you are near, they long to be close to you.
Early in the spring, I fell in love with him. But when autumn season came, he left me, and now I am all alone in the city, with no one to be with. All day long, the little swallow flew, and at night time he arrived at the city. Then he saw the statue of Salle and alighted just between the feet. What a lovely breeze this is, and how exceptional this spot is. To look at this view of the city. Oh, and I even got a golden bedroom. How lucky I am to find this place. Suddenly, a drop of water tapped the swallow's throat. Oh, it's raining. That's strange. The sky is clear and blue. Where could all these water droplets be coming from? Who are you? Why are you crying?
I am the happy prince.
He is the happy prince!
Silly. If you're the happy prince, then why are you crying?
I cry because when I was alive, I had a human heart and never worried about anything. Tears were never a part of my life. That's why they called me the happy prince. Now I sit on this column that I could see the sufferings and misery of my people.
But is there anything you can do about it?
My father was a great man. He shared his riches with his people to make their lives better. I'd like to do the same, but I can't. I can't move. I'm only a statue.
Is there anything I can do for you, happy prince?
Yes. Yes, little swallow. At the corner block, there's a poor household. Through the window, you could see a woman. She's embroidering a dress that a lovely lady would wear at the palace ball. Her son is in a mattress, hungry and sick, while all she could give him is water. Please, little swallow, take her to room and my sword.
I will do as you say. My friends can wait in the line. Mother, my dearest mother, can you give me oranges? Feel better.
I am deeply sorry. We are poor, and mother could only give me water. Please be strong.
What is taking her so long? The palace ball is in 2 days. My dress should be finished. Though, this seems just so lazy and unreliable. Tell her to fix this right now!
I did as you told me, happy prince. The woman was surprised when I left the ruby over the window. She held it and cried and hugged her child. I felt so satisfied.
That is because you've done a good deed. Stay with me tonight, please, and be my messenger.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
Yes. Please take one of my sapphire eyes to that writer in that house over there. He's trying to write a play for the director of the theater. But his hunger makes him faint, and he's too cold.
What will he do with a sapphire?
He will sell it to a jeweler and buy food and firewood to finish his play.
No! I can't! I can't do that. I should be in Egypt right now admiring the pyramids and looking at the lines flowing here from the Nile.
Little
Swallow, please do as I command you.
Tweet, tweet.
How could I miss such a wonderful gift? This must be from an admirer. Now, I can finally finish my play.
Thank you, little Swallow.
You don't know how happy I felt when I reached this house. We were so desperate. When we saw the sapphire, we immediately stood up and left this house.
Now, I need you to take the other eye.
But if I take it, you'll be blind.
It doesn't matter. Please do it, my friend.
Where shall I go?
In the square below, there's a little match girl. She has no coat and no shoes, and her matches fell in the dirt. She cannot sell them anymore, and her father will be angry if she brings them home.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Oh! What a beautiful piece of glass! I will show it to Father! I believe you told me, Happy Prince. Poor little girl. I found her crying on the ground. I stood in front of her, and when she saw the sapphire, she took it and looked at me when we went back the way.
Thank you, little Swallow.
Now that you're blind, I can't leave you. I'll stay with you forever.
Then, there's one more thing I need you to do. I am covered in fine gold. I need you to take it off, leaf by leaf, and give it to the suffering people.
But I don't want you to die.
Please understand, my people built me a statue of treasures. I want to give it back to them.
Oh, we have bread now to eat.
We can finally have firewood. My children will be grown this winter. My husband can finally have his medicine. Thank God. This is a miracle.
This is a miracle.
I did as you told me, Happy Prince.
Rest.
Now, I will rest. I am very tired.
Rest, my good friend. You deserve it after all you've done.
There is a dead swallow beside the statue of the Happy Prince. The ruby, the sapphires, and even the gold is not there anymore. We must put everything to trash, including the dead swallow.
Where am I going to find the beautiful things on earth as God asked